So it's official. I made a video this morning talking about how it was potentially happening, and it's happened. Brendan Rodgers has left Celtic. He's gone. He's off, and he has joined Leicester, leaving Celtic in the middle of February to progress his career back into the English Premier League. Now, it's took me by shock. It was only last night I was sitting on CJ's channel saying that no, he'll never leave. There's not a chance. He's not gonna leave Celtic. Not now, anyway. And I had full faith he'd be here for 10 in a row, and throughout the last 2 years I've had faith he'd be here for 10 in a row, but he has decided to leave Celtic. And there's not much we can do about it. That's it. It's over. Neil Lennon will take charge until the end of the season, and I wouldn't be surprised if Neil Lennon does keep the job past that and see through as much of 10 in a row as possible. But we'll talk about that when it comes to it. There'll be plenty more videos on the channel to come talking about potential managers and potential routes for Celtic over the next 6 months. There's just so much to talk about. It is something that I did not expect to sit down and talk about this season. Not at all. Not in the slightest. I didn't imagine Brendan would leave the club. It came as a shock to me as it has everyone else. And it's just a shame that it's had to happen in this manner. This video is basically just to give all my opinions on it. If you enjoy, like and subscribe, by the way. May as well say that now. You know, it's just happened so soon, and the fact that everything's happened in the space of 1 day is unbelievable to start off. You know, usually a managerial change is something that takes place over, you know, numerous days, maybe weeks. And no, we've done it all in a day. Rodgers gone, Lennon in. It was done oh so quickly. We'll come on to talking about Neil Lennon at some point. I imagine I will talk about it in a separate video, because this video is going to be mostly focused on Brendan Rodgers leaving the club and my feelings towards that and my opinions towards that. But the fact it was all done in a day is unreal. You know, last night I'm going to my bed thinking Brendan Rodgers here for 10 in a row, and next night I'm going to my bed thinking Neil Lennon's here for 10 in a row. It's just happened oh so quickly. And it's just so much to digest and so much to actually talk about. My opinions towards Brendan Rodgers. Let's talk about the fans' opinion towards Brendan Rodgers at the current moment in time. We could go on all day. Every fan, I can imagine the comment section. You've seen Twitter. I wasn't off my phone all day. I was on Twitter every second of every day, just soaking up everyone's opinions. And the general opinion of Brendan Rodgers is low. It's that he's a snake. Is that he's betrayed everything. Every feeling that he had coming into Celtic, every emotion he portrayed, just everything about Brendan Rodgers has been thrown down the drain because of this day, him leaving Celtic so suddenly to go into a job which, yes, he'll be earning double the wage. There's no doubt about that. He'll be earning double his wage. And fair enough, if he's looking out for his life and his family, that's fair enough. But the general opinion is he's left his dream job to go to even the likes of Chris Sutton is having digs at him. And Chris Sutton is obviously a reputable man. May have your opinion on him, but he's a pundit, he's a former player. The guy knows what he's talking about. And he's even shared his opinion. And most Celtic fans will tell you the same thing, is it's a rat. He's betrayed everything that he stood for. And he's abandoned this at this point in the season when he could have went on to have a treble. Many people will tell you he could have left at the start of last season saying goodbye, I've done what I can do. I don't feel like there's much more for me to accomplish. And people would have went, fair enough, Brendan. Thank you. Appreciate it. But now he's left in a blaze. He is left in what many Celtic fans will never forgive him. And it just crosses my mind. Will it cross his mind? You know, will he ever think of that? Will he ever think of the impression that he's left in Celtic fans? He could have left being one of the greatest and you know what? He's still going to go down as one of the greatest managers in Celtic's history. For what he brought to the club, it was unbelievable. A double treble. Let's think about it. A double treble, never accomplished in Scottish football ever. And you can say whatever you want about the state of Scottish football and the state of the teams he played. It's unbelievable. To go and win 7 domestic trophies on the bounce is unbelievable. And for that, you know, you want to sit down, you want to say to the guy, thank you. And my sudden thought is, thank you, Brendan Rodgers, for bringing a love to Celtic, for bringing the fans back to Celtic Park, for bringing a buzz around the club, for bringing so much success. Thank you. But the way that he's went out has just left so much negativity, so much soreness. And it's just unbelievable to think this is the way that Brendan Rodgers' Celtic tenure has ended. What I wanted to picture was this brilliant farewell with every Celtic fan showing the love that he deserved. But no, instead, he's getting pelters And I can't even say it unrightfully. I can't sit here and pretend that I'm okay with it. And no Celtic fan can. The way they left the club is humiliating, it's embarrassing. It's just unbelievable, considering the day he stepped into Celtic Park, that day in May 2016, when he was announced Celtic manager, he came to Celtic Park with thousands there to greet him, and he uttered the words about Tommy Burns saying, when you're Celtic, you're a leader of the man, leader of the people. And then the amount of times he promised 10 in a row, he signed the contract for 10 in a row. I could fully understand if he didn't stay for 10 in a row, and he went on at the end of a season and went, I need to move on. I'd understand that, but he's in the middle of February, en route to a treble, has stood up and left the club. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I have so much respect for him because he's such a talented manager. And well done, Leicester. You've picked the best that you could have. There is no man. And he might go on and have a shit show down there. And I'm not going to wish bad work upon him. I don't want to see the guy getting sacked and the rest of it because it's a job. You know, you don't want to see anyone lose their job. As much as I hate the fact that the way he's left the club and it's so aggravating and so annoying, I'm still not going to wish that upon him. I'm not going to wish the sack upon him. I'm just not going to stoop that low. But you know, it's just unbelievable. It's just everything I was saying has just left my mind because I'm just stunned the way that it's all happened. I've summed up all my thoughts on Twitter. Follow me at Ryan Stephen F. I just did not expect it. Rangers fans loving it. Will we still win 10 in a row? There's big questions to be asked. There'll be videos all week about it. Let's be honest. I'll be talking about it all week. There's something not to shut up about. This is massive. You know, it's not like when Ronnie Dyer left Celtic. We all seen it coming. We knew it was going to happen. It was time for change. There was no time for change here. We had the perfect manager and he's gone. And now where do we go? We don't know. The treble is not a guarantee. It never is a guarantee, but under Brendan Rodgers, you know, I always had that thought, you know, a treble's on the way. I was confident we'd go on and win a treble. But now, we don't know how the players are going to react. We don't know how the fans are going to react. Well, we know how the fans are going to react. We've seen how the fans reacted to Brendan Rodgers. Are we going to see the same attendances at Celtic Park? Are we going to see the same love? I hope so. And I'm 99% confident we will. But I don't want to see that attendance drop again. I don't want to see a fucking club like no other banner back in the second tier. No chance. I don't want to see that. It's not time for that. It's time for us to rally behind the fucking team. And support Neil Lennon. Support the lads. And get out there. Will this carry on? Will this, you know, snowball effect happen? Will we see Brendan Rodgers want to take players to Leicester? Will we want to see players leave Celtic because they're not under the leadership of Brendan Rodgers? Potentially so. We might have to deal with that. That's just fact. And if we do have to deal with that, then we have to deal with it the best way possible. We have to bring in players. The board have to be blamed for part of this. We cannot deny that. We cannot stand by here and not look at the board. I've tried to defend the board so many times, but so many people commented it, so many people said it on Twitter, but we were going to lose Brendan Rodgers because of the lack of backing from the board. And maybe if you think to yourself for a minute, what if Peter Law turns around and went, do you know what, Brendan? There's £30 million to spend because you deserve it for everything you've done. Maybe we wouldn't be standing in this position. Yes, the wages probably would have tempted them away still. But, I mean, money talks. It does. Simply said, as Sharp Dev put it last night, money does talk. But if the board backed Brendan Rodgers to let him build a squad that he knew he was capable of doing so many things with, maybe they said, no, because I'm building a legacy at Celtic. I want to get this bigger on the European stage. Never got that opportunity. And maybe he sees that opportunity down at Leicester now because he'll have money thrown at him to spend. He will have pick of the bunch. He'll be able to sign anybody he wants pretty much. And he wasn't given that at Celtic. The board have to be blamed as well. And now the board have a whole lot of making up to do by bringing in the right man for the job at the end of this season. Will they bring in the right man? I couldn't tell you. There's options. We'll talk about the options throughout the week on the channel. But my odds are on Neil Lennon probably getting the job. And it's just annoying. It's a sad day for Celtic. Seeing a man who had so much prestige and so much love from the fans leave so suddenly, so unexpectedly, out of nowhere. It truly is annoying, it's frustrating, it's saddening. And there's not much else I can... That's the way I can only sum up. That's my full reaction to it all. I just did not expect to see Brendan Rodgers leave in the manner that he has. And I respect you, Brendan. Thank you for the 2.5 years you have given to Celtic Football Club. Thank you for the success you've brung. But the way that you've left the club is... It's just not the way it wanted to happen. It's quite unbelievable. For a man who had his dream job. I still do respect the man, but it's hard. It truly is hard. Let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts. Brendan Rodgers is gone. Onwards and upwards. 10 in a row. Who's going to be here for 10 in a row? That's a question. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time.